I would love for you to talk about the emotional and sensory experience for many of these neurodivergent kids. I know we're going off on another topic and we don't have a ton of time, but so many of our kids are super sensitive and super emotional.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that really, if you look at autism, first of all, most or all autistic people have sensory processing differences. It's just kind of like baked into that neurotype. And ADHD and executive function challenges, those are also about so like emotional regulation, right? Those are challenges there. So it's kind of baked into a lot of neurodivergence that emotional regulation and just kind of managing sensory input is challenging. And so that's just something that's really good to know. I think, even again, when my kiddo was like maybe 4 was the first kind of identification we got for some sort of diagnosis. And it was sensory processing disorder, was what it was called, SPD. And I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, this makes total sense. Right. And then we started getting more pieces of the puzzle and like figuring more out. But this is just such a part of the experience. And what I'm excited about is, the work of Dr. Stephen Porges with polyvagal theory,
Yes,
because it's
100%.
all,
I
it's
went
all
to study
related,
with
right?
him. I went and visited him and spent time just sitting with him.
Oh,
He is the one that taught me so much about social engagement.
yeah.
And you know what I mean? As a
Yeah.
first step in a lot of this. So I
Yeah.
thank him all the time.
He's amazing. And what he's done for our communities is it's profound. And I think that that is that shift in really understanding that role of nervous system regulation. I think it's connected with everything. If you're sensory overload, it's going to impact your nervous system. If you're emotionally dysregulated, it's because your nervous system is kind of activated, right? So I think that has been kind of one of the things I'm most excited about. One of the ways that I personally started reframing my parenting, which I also got from Mona Hook. She used this language of, what does your nervous system need right now? Not that I would ask my child that explicitly, but I would think it. If I see my kid is dysregulated, instead of me getting triggered into fight or flight and my nervous system getting activated, or me trying to like get the behavior under control, I'd be like, oh gosh, this is so curious. Your nervous system is completely activated. What does it need right now? And that took away judgment. It took away kind of meaning that I was putting onto the behavior. And it just helped me then show up for what the actual challenge was in that moment. And that's changed everything for me.
Yeah, I love that. And that leads me to thinking about the journaling. And sometimes with my older kids, they do it with their parent. They have a
Hmm.
list of things that cause them to feel dysregulated or uncomfortable. Loud, large, lots of people environments, the 3 L's. Are they hungry? Are they tired? Are they overstimulated,
Yeah.
understimulated? And they'll have the check off. So when I got this way, oh, you know what? It was so loud in there. There was so many people there. It was just like, it was so big. The ceilings were so high. There was the fan in the
Hmm.
background. It's amazing when they start to take control over and checking it off and saying, how could we do it the next time?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'll tell, I'm big with the social communication bridge, which are the 4 stages of social communication. Stage 0 being non-communicative with an individual. It's either shut down or talking to somebody they're safe with, but ignoring someone else. Nonverbal, stage 1, either responsive or initiative, using intermediaries, sounds to words, augmentative devices, stage 2. And then verbal, quiet 1 or 2 words to elaborative, initiative, and expressive. And it's okay to bridge down in a loud, large, lots of people environment. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay to take out the script and write it out at a new restaurant and look at the menu online so that you go prepared.
Yeah.
Because the more that they can hear the choices that a parent offers them, the more that they can see a visual, the less they need to think and process.
Yeah.
And the repetitiveness, going to the same 3 or 4 stores, the same 3 or 4 restaurants for a while, to help them feel safe, to help them feel in control. It's all of these little things that add up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Conversation starters, the I am and I just state. There's so many tools. It's just, the common questions, being ready for going to a, Christmas or Hanukkah dinner. What is Aunt Sally and Uncle Bill going to ask you?
Right.
Let's get ready for it in a fun game like manner for a
Mm-hmm.
young child, or keeping track. I spy. Let's see who asked these questions. And different
Bingo
settings.
card or something. Yeah.
It's amazing. So
Yeah.
I think it's about understanding, what works for that individual and supporting them in a upbeat way rather than, oh, you really need to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get into that. You need to do that. If you don't do, what am I paying therapy for if you're not doing
Right.
it?
Yeah. I love all your strategies. And I think that is what it's about. Like, we want our kids to know themselves so well that they know what they need in any given situation. I have a friend whose young adult is autistic, and it's kind of a newer diagnosis. And I love when I'm hanging out with this group and this young adult says to me, I'm going to just like go back to my room. My social battery is completely full right now. And I'm like, you do what you need to do. Thanks for letting me know, and I just that empowerment to be able to say, this is what I need right now. This is what's going on. I'm at this point and I'm about to crash. So I'm going to remove myself. So I think just helping our kids know themselves so well and then having those strategies, the scripts, preparing in advance, all of that stuff obviously then reduces anxiety. And I think it allows them to show up as their best selves in any environment.